What up, it's EOB for another Alpine Play and Trade game review. The day is finally here. Call of Duty Black Ops, or Blops 2 for the sake of this review, is finally out. The strongest part of this game is the storyline. At times, it truly feels like an epic movie. And for most of the game, you play as David Mason, who is Alex Mason from Blops 1's son. Where this game shines is your ability to influence the game in every facet based on what you do in mission. Treyarch calls it the video game version of Choose Your Own Adventure. You are hunting down Raul Menendez, who's the game's super terrorist, or is he? You see, at one point during the Cold War, Raul was an ally. Then through the course of the game, things happen, passions ignite, and he becomes the source of some really terrible set pieces in the game. If you've ever read the book Ghost Wars, you might be familiar with the source material. Raul is probably one of my favorite characters in the COD franchise because it's hard at times to tell if he's truly evil or somebody you can sympathize with because of his story arc. But once you start moving away from the campaign, the game starts to suffer. A lot. See, I got the game on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Jumped on to play the multiplayer. I had heard about the awesome Pick-10 loadout system and was ready to start tinkering. Except the server was down. So I went off to the campaign for a bit. When I got back, server was up and I was ready to start my first game at level 1. Problem 2 was my first game was populated with 12 other players that started at level 18 and went to level 28. Let me repeat that. My first game consisted of playing with people who had played for 18 straight hours, and at that point I looked, there was 750,000 players playing at that moment. So, congratulations, terrible matchmaking has returned. I will say once I jumped in with my friend Chris, we had a lot of fun with the new weapons and the Pick-10 system. So if you have a regular group of guys you play with, this game is a lot of fun. But be warned, Blops is a lot faster than prior games, so maps like Nuketown 2025 fall a bit flat as everyone spawns on top of one another, and it becomes a strategy-less bloodbath. And on top of Nuketown, the other maps seem very familiar in a Modern Warfare 2 sort of way. And probably the weakest cog in the machine is the zombie portion. It just doesn't live up to the hype and feels very tacked on. All in all, if you're a Duty fan, you'll like this game. Will you love it? It depends on how worn thin you are on the franchise. But if you're like me and rarely played the campaign, do yourself a favor and start there. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 gets a 4 out of 5.